Hi everyone, I hope you're well. It's a busy week in Forex markets coming up with three big central bank meetings and GDP data out of China. The dollar has been rising as of late over speculation about Fed tapering, but this week we get to hear what other central banks have planned. For me, I'll be looking for opportunities in the Kiwi dollar, the Canadian loonie, and Japanese yen ahead of the respective central bank decisions. Stay tuned for more. FX Cambodia presents the week ahead. So let's make it easy and go in chronological order. First up, we've got the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. New Zealand dollar US dollar looks like it's topping out longer term. The Kiwi dollar benefited from expectations of higher commodity prices and the relatively low number of COVID-19 cases in the country. Now, falling commodities and low vaccination rates have paused the rally. But we're not in a downtrend just yet. And one reason to be more bullish on New Zealand is the RBNZ. For what it's worth, Westpac Bank now see the first New Zealand rate hike coming this November, with an official announcement on winding down asset purchases in August. If that's the case, this month will be setting the scene for tighter policy to come. Oh, and guys, can I just ask, before you enjoy the rest of the video, please click that like button. Next up, we've got the Bank of Canada. US dollar, Canadian dollar hit a 2-month high last week and is starting to look like the long downtrend is coming to an end. The 1.20 level has been major support for 6 years and is still working for now. The Bank of Canada were the first to turn hawkish because of inflation and remain so. It's just that the Fed's hawkish shift leaves the Canadian dollar looking vulnerable versus the US dollar. China GDP will be a big one for the global reflation trade. The pace of growth is expected to have picked up in Q2, with domestic strength now backed up by higher foreign demand for Chinese goods as Europe and US economies reopen. A good number should be good for risk-on assets like stocks and commodities, while a weak number would be good for the US dollar and bond markets. We can also give a quick mention of the Bank of Japan. Their big news is the moves to support bank lending towards climate change causes. But given the sky-high COVID cases in Tokyo and the chance of an Olympic Games with no visitors, monetary policy should basically stay unchanged with little change in guidance. Now let's round off with the rest of the highlights in the economic calendar. So we've covered the big ones, but there is also US inflation and retail sales data to watch out for at the start and at the end of the week. If US inflation tails off, then the Fed will be vindicated in their view that inflation gains are transitory. After the surprise drop in May, US retail sales are expected to bounce back in June and help to counteract the idea that US economic growth is starting to fade. With the Fed tightening in focus, we'd expect strong US data to be positive for the US dollar. Right, thanks everyone, good luck trading this week, and make sure you click on subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of The Week Ahead.